Hello friends, welcome to a new episode. This one's going to be a little bit different because we're not heading out fishing. What I'll be doing instead is I'll be walking you through the boat and sharing my honest opinion now that I've been using it for about 2.5 years. And then for the second bit of the video, I'll be installing these rod holders from Railblazer, and you'll see why you kind of have to be a little bit creative when installing accessories on this boat. So this is the Whaly 455R. It is a rotomolded high-density polyethylene boat, and as the name suggests, it is about 4.55 meters long, which comes to around 15 feet. The boat is sold bare, so everything aside from the main body is an additional accessory. It comes with no motor, no canopy, no seats, no steering, no console, and no storage boxes. What that essentially means is that you could customize the build based on your needs. So you could, for example, opt to go for a tiller motor and instead of the one with the steering, which would save you up space where I have the console installed. There are a few advantages to having this boat. For example, I really like this bit here. I can drop this forward, which makes it a lot easier to load things in and out of the boat, especially when I'm on one of my camping trips on beaches. Another thing I like about the boat is how agile it is in the water. Honestly speaking, I'm really impressed by how sharp it can turn, especially from an idle position. But perhaps one of the most important things about this boat is how rigid it is. This boat has been through quite the beating. For example, this, and this. A moment I'm not particularly proud of. Are there any things that I wish were better on this boat? Yeah, sure. Not many, but there are a few. For example, I wish I were more confident about drilling and cutting through this plastic, but to do that, you'll need a few things. For example, you'll need a plastic welding kit. You will need to have plastic of the same composition and preferably in the same color, but more importantly, you'll need the skills to do it right. And I can tell you, I've tried welding through this plastic to patch up a bit of damage, and it does not look pretty. It's fine, it's nothing serious, but yeah, it's something to keep in mind. Another thing I struggled with was finding the right propeller to help the boat plane and operate right. I struggled quite a bit with that and eventually had to get a hydrofoil, which solved the issue. But it's something, again, that you need to be aware of before making the decision to buy a boat like this. I also like the size to motor ratio of this boat, because I found that at the time when I bought this, most HDPE boats of this length couldn't take a 60 horsepower motor. So that was important to me. Overall, I'm really enjoying having this boat, and I'm planning on installing a few additions to it, which will make the experience even more enjoyable. So if you're interested in seeing more DIY and modification videos, leave a comment below, and if there's enough interest from everyone, I might actually make more content like this. Anyway, enough talk. It's time to start working on the installation. So what we have is the rod holders, 2 aluminum rectangular tubes, and they're about 4 millimeters thick. So this is a 100 by 50 centimeter size tube, and I had them cut it to about 75 centimeters after measuring the place where I want to install it, of course. And you'll see why this is really important. We also have some bits and pieces that will help me connect it. So we have some nuts and what do you call these again? O-ring bolts. I can't remember the name. And of course, we need to measure twice, drill once. And yeah, let's get started. We had to stop working for a while to grab lunch, but I'm back to it right now. And the first thing I'm gonna do after having marked these, though I have to say I'm a little bit concerned about where the holes will be, because the screws, let me show you what I mean. Okay, I may need to make the holes just a little bit wider so that I can insert these bolts with more ease. But the only way to know if I actually got it wrong or not is to get started. Okay, so I bought this mouse pad so I can cut it into shape, and it would act as a form of protection under the aluminum to prevent scratches like this one. I'm not sure if you can see it here, but somehow I forgot to bring anything that I can cut this with from home. I should probably have something like that in my toolkit. And the Swiss Army knife I have right now has a tiny scissor, and it would not be very practical to use for this purpose. So I'll just continue with drilling the other side's aluminum piece, and then I can get this part done at home, I guess. Okay, it's day 3. I'm still working on this. It really should be done by now, but it always seems like life comes in the way, you know. Anyway, I'm almost done. I just need to install these starports on the aluminum. So I'm going to widen the holes that I drilled yesterday so that the screws can fit in. And then from there it's just a matter of cutting the mouse pad so it can act as a padding, and a quick installation. Hopefully I'll be able to get this done today. Looks like an acceptable job. Despite the fact that I'd love to shoot all the episode outdoors in daylight, unfortunately the sun sets early, and by the time I'm done with work and with my other responsibilities, I'm left with very little time. So I've decided I'm going to get this done indoors, the installation of the starports, I mean. And then the last bit, which is installing it on the boat, is going to be quite straightforward. Even though it's dark out, I really want to get this done tonight. And I'll be sure to record some daylight footage showing what it looks like and to add it to this video. So let's get back to this. It's not straight. Okay, so one's complete and it's not straight, and while that's not really going to affect the performance in any way, it is definitely going to bother me. But I've already drilled the holes, not much I can do about that right now. So I'll just have to learn to accept it. Okay, we're done with the installation, finally. This is a little bulkier than I was hoping to go for. It was a miscalculation on my end. But you know what, that's fine. Because as I said, this gives me plenty of room to install new accessories in the future. And for the time being, I can finally do some proper trolling with these instead of the rod holders in the back of the boat.